Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cam and Focus Weekly. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Hey,
Justin.
Justin.
Hey, hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
All right. Well, yes. Welcome back to another episode of Cam and Focus Weekly. We had to postpone Sunday because we had some technical difficulties. This site likes to kick me out like every 6 weeks or so, and it's always a hassle getting back in. And I never know when it's coming because I have a terrible sense of time. But you know, we're here now, and we're here to discuss a nice, fun little movie. Andrew is just giddy right now. Speaking of Andrew, he is over here in this direction here. How are you today?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Right below me is Mr. Justin. He was with us during our last stream where we talked about The Green Knight. And today we're talking about Don't Let the RIVERBEAST Get You. But before we get into that, Andrew, I understand you have a few purchases you want to show off.
Yeah. So the first one, this one's the coolest, is a custom art piece that Cam did for me, which is
Oh,
pretty
really?
cool.
Oh, Cam,
Yeah,
sounds
no,
like a cool guy.
yeah, I know. It's you wouldn't know him. He's like an
He's a,
Asian dude, like you're Korean, but he's like
he's an underground artist,
yeah, but pretty cool. So
Yeah. So if anybody is watching and they want custom character posters made, just let me know either on the channel or over on my Facebook page. I'm fair as far as prices, and I ship them
yeah,
to you
no,
and
yeah, for
laminate
sure.
them for you. So yeah.
It's really cool. You want me to show
All right.
off the
Yeah. What else you got?
All right, I'll go through these pretty quick because there's not a lot. First one from my thrift store is bed knobs and broomsticks.
All right.
Thought that was a pretty cool find. This next one I've never seen, but it was a cool. It's called Get Shorty,
I
Oh,
think
that's
I've
a
heard
good
of that
movie.
one.
Hey, I've
I've
seen
heard
that
of
one.
it.
It's funny.
and it's got like the cool casing. It's the collector's
Nice.
edition that I found, so I was like,
Oh, cool.
alrighty,
It
pretty
has
cool stuff.
James Gandolfini and Danny DeVito.
Yeah, it looks like
DeVito.
it's funny. Cam, you will love this. It's got one of your favorite actors from the 90s,
Oh boy.
Under Siege with Steven Seagal. I saw that. I was like, I have to get this,
Oh, you bastard.
but I make up for it. So I was in Walmart earlier and I was digging in the $5 bin and I found some goodies. Well, I wouldn't call this first one a goodie, but I wanted it in my collection. 1984 Dune.
Oh, okay.
It's
Pretty
not
cool.
that bad.
No,
The
and
pain!
the thing too is if you want this on Blu-ray, it's all secondhand and it's like $40 depending on where you get it. So I was like, I'll take the $5 DVD. This next one is another one where secondhand it's like a bajillion dollars. This is a movie that we've done on the show. Do you have any idea on what it's not the Emu War? I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right. No, okay.
Is it 72 hours?
Is it one of the
Nope.
good or bad ones?
Good. I really like this movie. And it was the first
Valkyrie.
time watch. No.
Underworld.
Think 80s.
80s. Stargate.
Not quite, but the same. Oops. Same genre.
Enemy Mine.
Almost. Think a little bit earlier. This was one of the first movies we did.
Ah, crap.
I can just show it if you want.
I saw
Yeah.
one word.
The Last Starfighter.
Nice.
And it's
Oh,
the
Dave's gonna
25th
love that.
anniversary edition. I was like,
Hey,
what?
Spencer.
Awesome.
I can't hear you all.
Spencer.
So anyway, that's all my stuff.
I cannot hear you all.
Uh-oh.
We can say whatever we want.
Spencer's having some technical difficulties.
There we go. Aha, we're good now. What's up, everybody?
Alright, good. I was
You
like,
can
we
hear
can
us?
hear you just fine.
All right.
No, it changed all my settings when
Ah.
going in here,
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Well, welcome. Glad you're here.
Absolutely.
And-
Thank you.
Andrew just got done showing off his new purchases. He found a few gems that he wanted to show off. The last one he was just showing us was The Last Starfighter, and I know that Dave is gonna have a field day when he sees this because that's one of his all-time favorite films.
Was that the old Dune as well with it?
Yes, it was. I was telling Cam that to find this on Blu-ray is like, $30-$40 because it's secondhand. So a $5 DVD, I'll take that any day.
Nice. I haven't
Anyway.
seen that one yet. I need to.
I've seen it
It's-
once. It was fine.
I don't think I'd
It's-
like it. That's why I haven't.
It's cheesy. I mean, if you're coming off of Denis Villeneuve's Dune, I mean, me especially, Denis Villeneuve is my all-time favorite director, and so to go from that to David Lynch's Dune is like, you know, the best way that I can the best way I can describe it is to go from a fully loaded baked potato to a raw potato.
Sure.
That's a win.
For me, I read the Dune book before going into the first Dune Part 1.
Sure.
And it was like a great adaptation. I felt like the analogy I use with it, and I still would use with it, although there was a major change or a couple major changes at the end, is that it was, for me, it was what Peter Jackson did for Lord of the Rings. It's, you know, that the sci-fi version of that, essentially. And so
yeah, well, Dune for the longest time was one of those movies that everybody thought was unadaptable, and David Lynch didn't exactly help that predisposition, because he took like a 600-page book and tried to condense it down into an hour and 45 minutes, and it didn't quite go over so well, but. There is still a lot to enjoy about that movie. I mean, a lot of the visuals are really cool. A lot of the scenery is really cool.
It's got some big names too. It's got Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck.
Of course, Sting. How could we forget him?
Yeah, I'm going to kill you.
Here's a question: is it better to condense a long book into a short movie, or stretch out a short book into, let's say, maybe multiple long movies?
That depends.
Oh, you're talking about The Hobbit.
Maybe.
I don't like that. I can't stand a short book stretched
It depends. I mean, if you're doing like a direct, like one-to-one adaptation, then yes, you absolutely have to stretch it out over, you know, a film series or an episodic series or something. But it depends, because even books that are considered masterpieces like The Hobbit have a lot of fluff. So
that's true.
I'm actually
30% of the book is people singing.
I am right. I'm actually currently listening to it right now. I'm like majority of the way done with it.
Nice.
And it's interesting because there's a lot of holes that's left in that book. Not like plot holes, but like holes of where, like, oh, Gandalf goes off to this thing, and the movie explores what he does, versus in the book you just see him come back again, which obviously they'll see that in the movie as well. And so it's interesting of how it expands on it in a different way. And now with having gone through it, or almost all the way through it, once I'm done with it, I want to go back and rewatch those, see how it is.
Now, is this the book that you're listening to it on audiobook, right?
Yeah.
Is it the one? Is it the one that's narrated by Andy Serkis?
Indeed, it is fantastic,
Nice.
Amazing. I'm not an audio person. This is actually like my first like real good dive into an audiobook. I'm not an audio person. The only reason I can get into it is because Hobbit's already a story I know and love. I've read it once or twice, and so, you know, when it's a story I already know, it's just a lot easier for me to get.
It makes it a bit easier, yeah, sure.
So,
Plus
it's Andy Serkis. He's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I've listened to a little bit of the audiobook, and it's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So
cinema.
Yes. Today we're talking about absolute cinema. We're talking about Don't Let the River Beast Get You. This was a movie that was recommended to us by Mr. Andrew himself. And he twisted my arm and he said, Cameron, if you don't watch this masterpiece of a film, he threatened me with physical violence. So
we can't legally say, because there's probably preschool kids listening.
So this movie was it is free to watch on Tubi. So anybody who's watching, if you want to check it out, it's down there. But
it's a pretty good price.
Also on YouTube.
Honestly, I should have gotten paid to watch that. So I knew right as soon as the movie opened up that I was in for a bit of a wild ride. Now,
because you could tell he's reading off while he's saying it.
Oh my god. Okay, well,
Movie.
let's start with some testimonials here. Andrew, the first time you watched this movie, whenever it ended, what did you think about it? What was the first thing on your mind when those credits started rolling?
Well, so it's interesting. I can back up a little bit further. I knew about halfway through the movie, I was like, I should not be enjoying this as much as I am. Like, I don't know what it is. A friend of mine recommended it to me and said it was good. So I was like, all right, I'll go with the good. And like, there's cheesiness. There's some pretty bad line delivery and exposition. So there's a lot of stuff you're like, this is bad, and same extras and all that jazz. And the quick, like, Teddy, like, just straight to physical violence for everything, like, just it's can be a bit of an awkward watch, but I don't know, it was a bad enjoyable, like, I don't know, it just was like, hey, this is good. And I was like, I'll probably rewatch this in like a couple of years. Like, I didn't have any plans for rewatching it, and then I was like, you know what, this would be the perfect movie for this show. And I was like, I mean, it's I like it. All right, it's an enjoyable movie for me.
All right, Mr. Justin, were you able to watch the movie prior to this?
Yes, I was. It was interesting, to say the least.
That's a word.
Yes, indeed. It kind of felt like a YouTube video.
It did. And see, that's what I was thinking as I was watching it too. I was like, the people are acting like they're in a commercial.
It's like a school project or something like that.
World's best tutor this town has ever seen.
Mr. Spencer, were you able to watch the movie too?
Oh yeah. I think I probably would have rather spent my hour 40 minutes doing something else, but you know, it was
literally anything else, like
anything else, yeah,
like walking on nails, eating
it's not
raw
even
eggs.
more bad.
It's
yeah, I didn't watch that. I did mean to, but no, I don't know.
I'm telling you,
There's a
don't.
lot. I don't know. It was one of those things where I would just watch at it and cringe because of how bad that dialogue was.
Yeah.
Oh
know,
my
I was
god.
just like,
Nobody talks that way. Not
No.
one person on this planet talks that way.
I don't know why I just like it so much, but it was like, it's bad, but
No. The river monster had the most human dialogue.
yes.
It didn't talk.
And I love too, like when it opens and it's like the students with like the teacher too, and then like when the Allie, is that her name? I don't even remember. Goes to like the dean of the school, and you can tell it's clearly a living room, and they put up sheets for like the office. It's like there's like the fireplace right there. Yeah.
They couldn't afford a set, so they just filmed in each other's houses.
Well, actually, the professional athlete, her dad, this was in the trivia. All of those scenes were shot at his actual house. But I love that it's like, right.
I feel like I have to Google Earth it now.
They were like, professional athlete. What is he a professional athlete in? Everything, apparently, because he plays in the sport every time that they. I don't pay people to lose to me in horseshoes. You know?
Yeah, well, and he was probably like the best character in the movie. Everything culminated with him beating the shit out of the river monster at the end.
Don't you love the statue of him?
The statue that's just the guy painted silver.
You're right. Oh my god.
How long did he have to stand there while they were filming? It's just like,
I know.
Is he standing there just like a bead of sweat, like slowly going down his forehead?
Like,
like someone say cut already.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love it.
Everything about this movie. Oh, okay. Nothing about this movie could be considered good, but hold on, it's greater than the sum of its parts. You can look at every aspect of this film and say that it's objectively and technically bad, but it all comes together into a collage of just enjoyable schlock.
That's exactly, because there's sometimes where it's like, what's going on with the plot? Like, what is hamburger?
What plot?
what is helicopter hamburger? I need to know the rules of this game.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, the
I
kid-
forgot about that.
the kid's looking at the actress over here. He's like, "Can we play helicopter hamburger?"
That's just
Like
the
they
kid
were-
improvising.
He breaks the fourth wall like 6 times in that conversation. And I'm like, is he talking to me? Does
Don't
he
you
want to
love
play
me?
with me?
When he later in the movie, when he falls to hit his head on the rock, you see him just hit to the side, and they do like, you know, like you can see the cut where like if the rock's here, his head
Well,
hits here.
Something I kind of thought was just mildly funny was like every time they talked about him, they always like include the words "from another marriage" or
Yes.
something like that. They had to remind the audience each time.
Like,
only
Son from another marriage.
only at the end for the main character to say, "And Bradley, you can call me Daddy." The kid's just sitting on his couch. Ah.
Oh my god.
I can't stand this movie. And the kid. So when you first see this kid in the back of that car, he looks like he's like 13 or 14, but they make him go. Mm.
And then I love the fiance. He's trying to be a jerk, but it's like, oops, I didn't see you. I was, dumping out the dehumidifier, or like the god cousin, like his grandma or godmother's like, you have to go to the wedding because I don't want to go,
And that's another thing. They had to remind the audience at least 7 times that this person's his god grandmother or his god aunt or god sister or something like. It's like, okay, we get it. They're not blood related. Shut up already.
Actually, I kept forgetting. I was like, what is she to him? Oh, right, god cousin.
Oh,
Don't forget
there it is.
Don't forget the subtle foreshadowing of the kitty litter.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was the magnum opus of this movie. What it all amounted to was throwing kitty litter at the river monster, and it dries it up like a slug.
A fun fact about the River Beast, the costume? So they waited to film all those scenes at the end because once it got wet, it couldn't, it got destroyed, the costume gets destroyed. And it's actually the director in the costume.
That's where all the $5 went to.
Yes.
Yeah. They had about maybe $10,000 for budget. About $9,000 went to the costume, and the other $1,000 went to all the paint that they had to put on the guy at the end to make him look like a statue.
I love the scene where Neil has reunited with Troy and Milhouse, and they're talking, and Troy's having peanuts, and Milhouse goes, "You haven't shared any peanuts. It's universal to share peanuts." And Troy says, "Well, you didn't share any of your potato squash or whatever." And Milhouse says,
Oh,
"You don't
yeah,
share
butternut
that."
squash.
Butternut squash. He's like, "You don't share that," And then Neil says, "Gosh, it sure is nice to be back." Like
Back here in Rivertown, USA. Because every time they say Rivertown, they have to add USA at the end. Like, we just keep on forgetting they're in America.
Well, and
that's like
I don't know if
4
you know
dozen times they say
I don't know
that.
if you know this, but Neil Stewart is the best tutor that this town has ever seen. Every time he leaves, they're like, "There's the best tutor this town has ever seen."
But we don't see him tutor anybody. I mean, he sits down with the girl and tells her to do things like, "You got 5 minutes to get changed." It's
Right.
like, okay, but when does the teaching start?
Well, he does tutor those, the little kids, and then he, which I love that they don't use like a direct mic on him, so you just hear like this background like echo. And like the kids, I don't know.
They couldn't be bothered to capture about 15 seconds of room tone just to kind of, clean up the audio. No, you
like
hear
Birdemic.
everything.
Yeah, no ADR.
Right, exactly. Well, and you see that there's only a few voiceover scenes, and I think it's when they have like drone shots of them walking in the town. You can, or like this montage of him walking with Allie. You can tell it's voiceover because their mouths aren't even moving as they're walking.
Yeah. As they're having a conversation one person is speaking in one audio quality, the other one's speaking in another audio quality. It's like, okay, we have to make this conversation happen. So we can't record on set. So you go into this booth and record your audio. And you sit down in my truck and record your audio.
Yeah. Well, and there's like the sheriff guy that's like, call him a sheriff, whatever the heck his name is.
He was like the worst one of the entire movie. His little thing at the end where he says, "I've been in touch with the president of the United States."
Yes.
He commends
This is
our
the greatest
bravery.
accomplishment in the history of America. Like, wait, what?
The greatest aquatic creature battle in American history. And you could tell by the time he was finished saying all that, he was done. He was done. He did not want to spend another minute on set. He didn't even get out his entire last line before he started walking away.
Yeah.
I love too when Teddy starts to play guitar and there's the lady dancer. So there's like the same 5 people that listen to his two strums, like his 2 notes. He's just playing the same 2 notes for like 5 seconds, but he makes all this money. It's just the same like 5 people, you know what I mean? And he's like, it's just funny. You know?
Yeah, shouldn't have. He's playing
this girl.
2 chords on his
He's playing 2
guitar,
chords.
and this girl comes in. It's a dance. It's a type of dance called popping, where you contract and relax your muscles rhythmically. It's like, he didn't ask.
And then she says, "Can I come shower in your house? Oh wow, you're really handsome." And he has this like smile. He's like, yeah.
The first time that he and Neil met in the movie, he says, "What are you doing here? Get out of my habitat."
Yeah.
And then
He looks like he's a character in the Matrix.
His very next line is something. "Well, what are you doing in my abode?" It's like, okay, Mr. Thesaurus. What are you going to say? Okay, get out of my domicile. How many words are you going to come up with to describe the basement you're living in?
He compares his musical talent to Neil's tutor.
I like that reference.
Justin's like,
I will not be harassed.
and Neil, who pays like all the rent, Teddy's not like, hey, I'll sleep on the floor and you can.
He says, well, we're living together now because I paid what you owe and my half of the rent or something. And it's like, wait a minute, you just got back into town and you're moving into this guy's house?
And you all of a sudden have all this money on you,
Every one of their fight scenes. Oh my god.
It was.
They must have. It's just them kind of grabbing each other.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, the cinematography with these fights, like, it's very rare for a movie to have this kind of impact on me. You're lucky if you get to watch a movie like this, and the cinematography should have been. It's like Doom cinematography, all right. And Teddy is so like Neil. So when the girl's taking the shower and he walks into the bathroom, he opens the door and he goes, and then shuts it and comes down and says, "Teddy, there's a naked lady in our bathroom." And he goes, "I saw her. You saw her naked?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, for just a second." And he went, "I saw her first." And then he like grabbed her. How would Neil even know this lady was home?
Yeah.
And
then the fight choreography, the intricate camera
and I love
work.
that they knock over everything. And it's like,
move aside, Chad Stahelski. You think you're a legend for John Wick? Well, let me show you this right here.
Who was that?
I punched Cam like this, and then you went like that. That's better fighting than.
Who was that guy that was like a famous hunter?
Yeah, Ito Hawkins.
Yeah,
Picnic babes. Those photos you can keep. He's playing a harmonica.
And he's not even really talking. He's just.
There's
I've hunted every animal on this planet.
I like how he's like a town celebrity. Just like everybody knows, and he's like really well respected.
And he charges a pretty per diem, as they said. And like when he's the montage of him hunting, he plays the harmonica, and then he like goes like breaks a stick off a tree, and he goes, huh, and then he walks through and he goes like this, and it's like, what is he doing? Like they just told the old man, hey, just walk past the camera this way and just look to side to side.
He breaks the branch. Why would you do that? You're looking for branches that are broken because you're tracking something.
And then there's an obsession in this town with picnic babes, because like every guy that goes into the jungle, goes like the guy that marries the god cousin, and he goes to, before he gets it destroyed by the river beast, he goes, picnic babes, and he's just standing there like this, and then the camera pans behind him and then flashes the red light to prepare you for the river beast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
It turns out that's just their father.
We had that nice
Very
disclaimer
protective.
at the beginning of the movie that says, any time that you're about to witness the horror of the river beast, the screen will flash red twice like this. To warn you that it's coming.
I love, because it looks like that guy's literally reading off a teleprompter.
He is, because you keep seeing his eyes doing this. He's
Like, I did have to do this a couple times.
They didn't even have the budget for a teleprompter. I guarantee it was somebody scribbling on a whiteboard frantically.
Again, school project.
Obviously.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
then,
God.
and then there are a couple of times where he almost flubbed what he was saying, and it's like, oh well, then he must have gone over some really sloppy handwriting there, because he couldn't read what he was supposed to say.
Oh man.
Uh,
Well, and then you have the reporter Sparky Watts.
Sparky Watts. What was electric light bulb taken?
Yeah, his cousin was,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
You should meet my cousin, Wet Water.
I love. I told you this, Cam, earlier. I said I love that it's a modern day movie, but he looks like a reporter from like the 40s, and his secretary, who has like 2 lines because she told her shut up, has like this old camera. Oh, it's just so funny. It's like everyone else is with the modern times, and you just have the reporter.
Yeah.
Why I? And I love Neil's line delivery. Oh, every time it's like, why
I oughta.
Before every fight, he goes,
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
was
know
almost
that.
expecting him to like roll up his sleeves and be like, "Oh, a wise guy, huh?"
takes off his sweater,
This was like the first time I've actually heard of somebody named Milhouse besides The Simpsons. Like, that's not a common name.
Well, and Justin, I was telling Cam, I said this movie was had 12 shooting days over the course of 4 months, and I said you can see when they shot movies because the scenes, because Milhouse has like, the hair length is like medium length, short medium, and then at the wedding scene, like 3/4 of the movie, it's like buzzed, and then when they fight the river beast, it's back to the length it was at the beginning.
He wears a special wig.
Right? Yeah. He had to cut it for another role, and then crap, we need reshoots, and he was like, "Oops."
And the river beast. I want to talk a bit how the river beast kills people. How does the river beast kill people?
I don't actually know. We just see it like grab it, and then
He, like-
you kind of froze for a second there. You froze right here, and it looked like a freeze frame from an old horror movie. Oh god. But yeah, the river beast just like hugs them. He either hugs them or like gently puts its hand on them.
well, I love the son from another marriage. When he and his dad are walking through they take like 10 steps into the forest, and then he turns, he goes, oh, Dad, the river beast is real. And then he's like, run, son. And the river beast grabs him, and then he is running. That's why I said earlier, he trips on like the log and then like hits his head on the rock. And then he's passed out for what seems like a day or two, and then he returns home. He's able to walk into the house, and it's not until he gets into the kitchen he's like, he just faints.
So He made it from the woods all the way back
Way
into
home.
his house, probably with a concussion.
Going
just-
back the way
just
he came.
Passes out
Yes.
as soon as he gets there. Never mind that this is a kid. He probably can't navigate very well, and he just bumped his head on a rock, so he might be a little bit disoriented. No, he makes it home perfectly fine.
Perfectly safe, and somehow
Yeah.
either has a key or the mom just leaves the door unlocked because how else did he get in? You know?
Well, Rivertown, USA must just be the safest town in the world.
That
I mean,
must
people
be.
leave their car doors unlocked, their windows open, their
That's
front
true.
doors unlocked.
And the mom's delivery, I think I told you this, Cam, but Justin Spencer, the Emmeline and Neil, they were married in real life.
Mm.
But
Even
her
like
delivery
the
Their
behind the
chemistry
scenes
really
details.
shines through.
I did. There's like 12 trivia facts on IMDb or something like that.
I bet the creator or the director just put those in. Nobody actually just
As a matter
Nobody
of
saw
fact,
this
I
movie
bought-
and was like, let's look into this real quick.
I bought the
Yeah.
collector's edition Blu-ray.
Wait,
You
you
did?
Okay.
No,
Oh my
I
god,
don't
was
I
like-
thought you were
exist.
serious. I
I
was
was
gonna
like,
say there's no way he's
they
gonna bust
actually
that out
had-
right now.
That must be a boot. Like, there's no way they actually have a budget to release that.
No, what I did is
It's a homemade one.
I burned a DVD copy of it. That's what I did.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, and the fact that this movie. Well, first of all, the fact that this
Oh, we have
movie
the
has
deviant
9
professor. We forgot about him.
Oh yeah, can't forget him.
Oh yeah. Now the whole world's gonna know you're a deviant.
No.
Oh my gosh. That term. I don't think I've actually heard anybody use that term before.
And they say it like 5 times in that
know.
scene.
And who gets in trouble at the school? The girl,
The
not
girl,
the
of
professor.
course.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
while they're sitting here filming him, he's like, okay, how much for the tape? How much do you want for the tape?
Yeah. And then later, when she's with Neil walking around, she's like, she has to say this. She can't just do it. She's like, Neil or Mr. Stewart, it's hot, and I have this sweater on, and I have a tank top on underneath. Is it okay if I take this sweater off? She starts, and then the professor comes around and goes, "Come on, Allie, keep doing it. Let's go." Where did he come from? Like, this dude just like comes around the corner, and she's like, "Of course, he only comes out when I'm about to show a little skin." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
And you-
jeez."
and see, I love how you can deliver her lines exactly like she does.
I do it a little bit better, you know.
And of course, they had to have Neil encounter the professor, and they had him strung around on crutches just to make sure that we knew that he hurt his leg falling out of that
Well,
tree 2 feet down.
Yeah, Neil like puts out his hand, I don't know, for like something, and then he hits it, or yeah, it's just funny. And the police, yeah, and then he calls the police, and they're like, come down here, and he pulls out this map that he just randomly has on him, you know. Like this small town,
His pocket's like a Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, it's like this small town. The police station is probably 5 minutes from you, but no, he has to go through the woods, and the river beast is just there, you know.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Well, Andrew, if you wanted to add this movie to your collection, you could get it on Amazon right now for $10.50. You know?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hold on. All right.
It has
They're
it has
actually
one-
selling that?
there's it says 17 new copies in stock from a listing from
You can make this lost
year and a half
media and
ago.
buy all of them.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's not on Blu-ray, but hey, I can get the alternate poster too. Oh, it's on sale. It's normally $15.
Oh yeah, what's it going for now?
10.
Wow, that's a
Let me-
steal. They're practically giving
Go on,
it
Andrew.
away.
For the exchange of money.
The release date for this specific copy was 2023. Oh my gosh, the customer reviews is 2.4 out of 5 stars.
I would love to see this like in the Criterion collection. Just the
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, it comes with an hour and a half of special features.
There you go.
it just shows the guy sitting in the chair editing it.
Yeah, right.
The hour and a half of special features is just the movie all over again.
Yeah. The director's commentaries. Them, yeah, just,
I can't believe you bought it.
yeah, right. That's they're like an hour. Yeah, it's just that'd be hilarious if
As the movie opens up, the first thing you hear is the director going, "First of all, congratulations."
It's an honor to interview me. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh my. Did you say it's an honor to interview me? It's just the director talking to himself. Because he was the only one who made it back to record the special features. It's like everybody else just had better things to do.
So we got to talk about the controversy that happened at the wedding scene. Actually, two controversies. The band won't play unless you pay, and he won't pay unless they play. You know.
So which do we do first?
I don't know. And then there's the food debacle with the future fiance. You know, he's like, he gets, what was it again? Like potato salad or something like that.
Trying to fill up the word limit. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, guys, my phone has about 4 gigabytes of memory left on it. Just say whatever you want.
and then, I assume you learned the River Mud Warrior Shuffle. You know.
Oh my god. When that song first started playing at the beginning of the movie, I was like, wow, did they actually get like licenses for an actual like studio recorded song? It's like no, that it was just them.
It's the same lyrics for the whole song. And you got his one friend banging the Home Depot bucket. And again, they play the same 2 chords like the whole song.
Yeah, well, just like Teddy sitting down on the side of the road playing 2 chords, and people are like, "Wow, that's the best song ever."
Was everybody popping?
I was like,
yeah, you know, gotta pop out to that song.
Yeah. Oh man, it just, golly.
Why? Well, like, okay, Andrew. When you first started watching this movie, like the very first time, at what point did you decide you were going to sit through it until the end? Because I assume that at some point, you know, in the first 20 or so minutes, you thought to yourself, "There's no way I'm gonna make it through this. I got to turn it off now."
Well, actually, the funny thing is, because the same way I feel about this movie is how I feel about Kroll a little bit. And so I guess my mindset was, okay, there's some good stuff here. I was like, it's gonna get going. You know, I was like, maybe it gets better. I was if this was a studio movie, like if this was like Warner Brothers did this, I probably wouldn't have made it past 20 minutes. But knowing it was a low budget indie film, I don't even know what the budget is. I could Google real quick. I don't know.
$6.
I think what it was. Right. Most of the time, I can make it a good 30, 40 minutes into a movie before I check the time to see how far I'm into the movie. And I'm like, okay. I mean, so it wasn't quite like all right. It was just, let's just see where this goes. I was enjoying it. I was like, all right. You know?
Yeah, well, I kind of felt the same about. I hate to keep bringing this up, but I kind of felt the same about Emu War.
Don't compare it to that movie. Do not compare it.
I'm not comparing the movies. I'm comparing how I felt about those movies.
Fair.
So with this one, I got about 20 or so minutes into it before I checked the time because I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this. I broke the movie up into 2 viewing sessions.
You got ads. You could use the ad time to be like, all right.
Yeah. But with the Emu War, the movie was so short. I checked the time because I was thinking the movie was like, you know, like just getting started. But I checked the time and it was halfway over. But at the same time, I was like, oh, thank God it's halfway over. But then I'm like, oh shit, it's only halfway over.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But it's all about effective use of time because there are a lot of bad movies that at the very least feel well paced. Like Gods of Egypt, for example, terrible movie, terrible movie. But it had earlier. Yes, but it at least had a story that felt like it had momentum.
Right. Even though there's no Egyptians in the movie.
There's not one single Egyptian in that movie.
You know what? I just sorry. I'll let you finish.
Oh no! It's. I mean, I was honestly going to bring up Heat because that's another movie that
Yeah.
manages time really well. I mean, it's a 3-hour movie, but it's every second is utilized to the absolute fullest. And
I honestly think that's my favorite movie that we've done.
oh, good. Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
honestly really happy to hear that. I mean, it was great. It was
Mhm.
so great.
So I was looking at the trivia real quick on this movie. So there's a spoiler section. All right.
Oh, great.
There's
What is
one
there to
under
spoil
this.
besides the fact that the dad dies?
So that's what I was wondering. It's
How can you
literally
make the movie
fact-
spoiled? Like, don't spoilers usually make something worse?
Yes.
Like, how
How'd
can you
you
make it
spoil
worse?
the movie? Did you leave it in
Here-
the sun too long?
Here's the spoiler, all right? And you're gonna die laugh. You're gonna laugh at this. Okay, because I said
God.
this earlier. The spoiler is that Neil Stewart, the actor in real life, and Emmeline are married in real life. That's the
What?
spoiler. That's the spoiler.
Oh,
That doesn't give anything away.
What? Whole movie ruined.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, it's not good anymore.
Yeah, I can't.
So,
I cannot
like,
believe that.
How am I going to watch this movie now and get anything out of it now that you've told me that?
Well,
terrible.
You know what? I'm never watching it again. You know what? I won't watch it again.
That's right. We got it. I can't. The fact that he leaves 5 minutes before she gets to the overlook, and it's just, you know. And I love to see that following morning where they meet, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna get back with you." And this kid just walks up and it's like, "Hey, Mister, you're in the paper." Gives the paper, and she's like, "Neil, is this true?" Well, of course it's true. It's on the paper, which was great line dialogue, by the way. And then he goes, "But it's in the past. As of now, it's in the past." And she's like, "I can't believe I ever thought about getting back with you."
oh my god.
I truly have no words. Who in the flying fuck talks like this?
You can't say that when I take a sip of my drink.
Ugh.
Well, and yeah, then it's until he defeats the river beast, and she's like, "Oh, must have been true." You know, come here, Neil.
Oh, you think?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He's gonna play
after-
helicopter
well-
hamburger every day for the rest of his life.
I love the fiance after that when she's going into the car to go to the overlook. And he's like, "I thought you were going for a walk." "Oh, I forgot we had to get groceries." He's like, "Bradley, my son from a previous marriage, said you were mean to him. Said you wouldn't play helicopter hamburger. That's like the common family thing."
The fact that the father would say from
They just have to remind the audience of every single detail about every single thing. Let's not forget that we're in Rivertown, USA, and this
Oh,
guy
that's where it
is
took
the
place.
world's best tutor.
I keep forgetting. I'm telling you, it's like,
Oh, Rivertown! Why won't anybody tell me what country they're in?
oh my! And I love that. Allie's dad, the former professional athlete, what did he star in? Apparently everything. His son has like 2 lines: "Yes, sir," "No, sir." I guess 3. I haven't seen her since this morning. You know, I love when they
he's
do
the
the
luckiest one.
Exactly.
Like,
And I
he got
love when
to
they-
get out of there real quickly.
Yeah. He was like, "I got to, it's about to be night. I got homework." You know, I love when they do the citizen's arrest where he like goes to shake Neil's hand or something like that, and he goes, "Quick, son, get the duct tape." Like, that's gonna keep. It's like this, and they barely put any on. It's like, that's gonna keep him. How weak is Neil? If he's able to do why I oughta, he should be able to break through a little bit of duct tape. And then the jail chair is like a dining room chair, you know. The cop. He's great because he's like he like has to convince himself that Neil's innocent even though there's proof, because he like goes through all these like of his like life experience. And then I love the prison food is bread and pickles. And I noticed Neil, he breaks off a piece of the bread when he's eating it, puts it down, breaks off another piece with the bread with the pickle, and then eats it. I'm like, what? Did you need to fill screen time? Like, what the heck?
Well, it's like if you watch the extras in like a sitcom or something when a scene takes place in a restaurant, nobody is eating. Not
Mhm.
one single person puts utensil to mouth. No
Right.
one's eating. So my
Mhm.
assumption is maybe that's the aesthetic they were going for. But I can't give them that much credit because that'd be way too funny.
Yeah, the four of us need to come together, and we need to do a movie where we're all the extras in every scene. It's like,
I just
what,
want-
10 people live in this town? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I just wonder if these guys kept this movie on their resume. Just
Yeah, I starred in a big budget movie before. You might have heard of it. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, it's like a day of shooting wraps up, and everyone's like, "Okay, we're done. You guys can leave the set," and they'll just go home in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, you don't have to credit me at the end of the movie.
That's what I said. You can tell these are not actors by any means. They're just like friends, or like, hey, you live in this town? Come be
Good
an
for them.
actor."
They were able to make a movie that they wanted. Good
Every
for them.
time Teddy plays music, like the 3 times, it's the same people listening to his music, and they're all like. And then I love the scene where the lady decides to leave, and he just wakes up randomly in the night, and he's like, whatever her name is, he's like, oh no, and he just like takes off running, and he runs to the park like she's gonna be there, and he's like, and then he's like, you couldn't let me have a relationship, so you killed her.
That almost feels like the reinserted scene of what happened earlier. We gotta fill out the runtime, guys. Let's introduce the scene again.
Just copy and paste it. Yeah.
Honestly, what really would have made that scene just so perfect would have been if they had put Snorri Cam on him as he was running,
yeah.
so that way it was just tracking his face.
Throw in a Wilhelm scream in there as well. Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh man.
I am so glad that I watched this movie. I will never watch it again.
Oh,
Me
what
neither.
about, we got to talk about Killer Moon. Troy, when he's like, I've always wanted that to be my soldier name, and right now I'm a soldier. And
I was hoping you were talking about Killers of the Flower Moon.
right,
Great film.
That one's a
Great
good one.
film.
that is an awesome movie.
Martin
but-
Scorsese, baby.
Yeah.
The River Beast is what I love about the continuity of the shots is when the River
Continuity.
Beast kills Guido Hoopkins, he's dragging him, right? Next shot, when Troy's going to get it like this, River Beast is in the same spot he was before he started dragging him, and he grabs it like this, waits a second, the River Beast sees him, goes, "Arr," and then he just turns, starts to slowly walk, River Beast grabs him, and he's like, "Ah," and he's like dead on instant impact. It's like all he did was hug you. He was like this, and he's like, and you can see he helps lay himself down on the rock. he sits down with him and then goes like on his own.
I like how there's a lack of CGI in this film. It's all practical. Yeah,
I
they
will
all.
give them credit for that.
Yeah,
'cause they
yeah,
did not have the
that's-
budget.
Yeah.
Is
all
there a
practically
Razzie
done.
Award for best practical effects?
Hey, that goes to
There
Birdemic.
should be. Oh my! Those weren't practical effects. Those were JPEGs.
Oh, I
pasted
thought
over
you
footage.
said CGI, not practical. I was so dude cut out for a second.
You just have a bird in flame, in frame, just doing this. Very clearly pasted over the footage, and guys are out there with coat hangers.
So apparently, there's not a specific budget, but it says it's the ninth. Oh no, this was not the first movie. It was the 9th movie created by Matt Farley, who
There's
is
no
Neil.
excuse there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought this was their first movie. No. It was their
Damn it.
ninth movie. It said it was released to little acclaim with a film premiere in West Newton, Massachusetts, and had a DVD release in 2012. It slowly began to take on cult status in the early 2020s with successful movie screenings and online fan reviews, which were the extras in the movie.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I was looking at this on Letterboxd when I went to review it on there, and it has
You
an
saw mine.
average. it has an average of 3.6 on there, with the two
Out of
most
5.
yes, with the two most rated being 5 stars or 4 stars, which I just find completely baffling.
I gave it a 3.
Well, this movie has an IMDb page, and even on IMDb, it's like 5.4 out of 10.
And I love that no one has a picture either. It's all just the blank.
See, these actors are so popular that they had to be incognito.
Yes, because they just got bombarded with.
Because fame just follows them wherever they go. So
Yeah, and if you bombard Matt Farley as Neil Stewart, he will go why I yada.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when Sparky Watts revealed himself to him. The first thing he did was shove him up against the wall and put his fists in his
He
face.
was like, "It was you," you know.
Yes, that's some convincing drama right there, really carried by Oscar-worthy performances.
And I love the second scene with him. He goes, "Before you give me a knuckle sandwich, my secretary's conveniently in the car right here with a 50s camera, ready to capture everything." You know,
What was his motivation behind ruining that guy's life? He just
yeah. And then he does the phone. He's like, "I'll leave a message for Sparky Watts. You ruin my life, I'll ruin yours. No, he doesn't have to call me back."
So, see, that right there rivals the phone call in Heat.
Yes.
Because there is a dead man on the end of this fucking line.
No, you don't have to call me back.
Oh well, no. What's it? I think it's what was that movie that Carrot Top starred in?
chairman of the board.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. There's a scene where the CEO guy is on the phone. He gets some bad news and he crushes the phone in his hand. And he's like, "Ah, call you back."
The main thing I remember of that movie, I've never watched Chairman of the Board. I just remember seeing Carrot Top do an interview on Conan. It had Norm Macdonald, and he insults the movie pretty good. He's like, "I bet they spell board bored."
Yeah. Well, okay.
Oh,
Carrot
man.
Top's first scene in that movie is him basically like getting launched out of bed and slamming through a wall, like, you know, Inspector Gadget style. Ah!
Oh, man.
I hate that movie. I don't want to do it on this show. Please don't make me do that on
I
this show.
didn't know.
When I saw that y'all reviewed Green Knight last week, I thought we were going to review something of a similar quality this week.
we go back and forth. We like alternate. Because sometimes it's fun to talk about a bad movie.
You have to have them cancel each other out.
Well,
It's like Thanos.
we
It
were
has to
going to
be
do
perfectly
Shawshank
balanced.
Redemption, but we had to push it off. So, you know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
watched that like 2 weeks ago.
Hey, but we're actually going to do Heath Ledger's performance in this movie is without a doubt one of the best. Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, well we will definitely get to that here in a minute.
Yeah, what was that?
All right. So, does anybody have any final thoughts about this masterpiece of a film?
I have a lack of words for this movie because of just what it is. You know what I mean? It's just like I just literally watching it and I'm like, it's certainly
beyond
a movie.
explanation.
Spencer's like, what am I going to do now? You know?
No, yeah, he's like the guy from A Clockwork Orange, just sitting there with his eyes pinched over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, make it stop! Make it
Pretty
stop!
much.
To sum up my opinion. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no, and no, me pinching my eyes open is not an Asian joke. I promise.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but you know. Hey, I find that offensive. Yeah.
Look at me. My name's Elizabeth. I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh my god. We got to clip that out.
Yeah.
Get the views.
Okay, editor, take that out. Okay, I got you.
Hey, that was a crew of the RIVERBEAST. That was the post production. Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Well, Yeah, this movie was bad. I mean, but by no metric was it a good movie. Am I going to watch it again? Absolutely not. But
Never.
I'm not going to lie.
Nope.
I am glad that I watched it because movies like this, I mean, like this, The Room, Birdemic, Troll 2, Samurai Cop, all these movies that are known for being like among the worst of all time. I mean, obviously, you're not going to watch it and walk away from it thinking that you watched something good, but it's still fun. It is a lot of fun.
That's the best way I can describe this movie. It's a fun bad.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Very rarely in your life do you come across a movie that is such an experience that you think about it for a couple of days after you watch it.
What you trying to say about this, Andrew? Go on.
I mean, like,
It was a life-changing experience.
no, I will say, watch it. You got to watch it at least once, just to watch it. And if you go into it knowing it's silly, knowing it's cheesy, knowing it's got horrible dialogue where the line delivery is everyone going like this, talking like this, at this pace. No one talks like this. This doesn't sound natural. Oh, I bet being left at the altar had something to do with that too. Oh, I bet the time he got beat up as a kid has something to do with it too. It's like we're just learning his whole life lore right here. And then you have the awkward at the beginning of the movie. A lady, he thinks a lady's waving at him, and he waves, and then the camera pans, and it's another guy walking behind him. I mean, it's just, hey, it's free to watch, you know.
All I will sum up my opinion, just one word. Wow. Just that.
See,
wow.
Justin gets it. Wow.
See, I have one word too. Why?
I'll do you one better. What?
Who?
Where? And why?
Oh my God, Spy Kids.
Oh, you
Who,
got
what,
it. Let's go.
when, where, and why?
Because sometimes I do that, people look at me like,
what do I intend to find this time?
you just got the thumbs running around.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So I guess that'll about do it for today's episode.
Oh, we can't hit 2 hours.
No, not for this one. This isn't the Green Knight. I can't sit here and talk about this movie for 2 hours. My blood pressure can't take it. So next week, well, I guess technically this week, this coming Sunday, we're going to be doing Dark Knight, which is not the Batman film. It's actually it's a series on Tubi that's free to watch, of course. And it's a fairly low budget medieval fantasy series. It's not good, but it has inklings of good in it that do elevate it quite a bit. But I mean, it's definitely cheesy. It's one of those.
Sounds like the Riverbeast.
Well, it's not nearly on that level.
Oh, not as good is what you're saying. Okay.
and the funny thing about this series was there's a whole big story behind it, but the episodes actually got released on DVD in 2 episode clumps as complete movies. And so I have the first 3 of those DVDs, and we're going to be doing basically the first movie, which is the first 2 episodes of that series that functions as one complete, story. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. Same place, same time. And I'm actually really excited to talk about this one because this was a huge part of my childhood. I mean, I have a lot of adoration for this series. So definitely excited to talk about it. Does anybody have any shameless plugs? Andrew?
Yeah, let's see. It's Wednesday, not Sunday.
It is.
All right. So tomorrow night on the Feast of Fandoms YouTube channel, Cam will join me and David and Debbie as we discuss Season 1, Episode 5 of The Clone Wars. I have no idea what the title is because I haven't watched it yet, but that's off record.
You got time.
All right. The Slacker. See, that describes me.
Hold on. We can look it up right here. Boot it up.
Oh, I thought that was episode title. When Spencer said the Slacker, I was like, oh, there you go.
Andrew wasn't able to watch the episode because he got left at the altar.
That's right. And I've just have been processing Don't Let the River Beast Get You this whole week. It's just been stuck in here. So that'll be a lot of fun. 9:30 p.m. Eastern time for you people.
Rookies. There you go.
Okay, rookies. There you go. See, I'm a rookie when it comes to watching this stuff. Would a rookie have these? Anyway, no one wants to hear that. Let me finish. Next Sunday, I'll be back here. And then next Monday, David, Debbie, and I will go live for MCU Monday. We will be discussing episode 7, I believe, of Jessica Jones.
Nice.
So yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Justin, do you have any projects you're working on? Anything you want people to know about?
Not really.
No?
No,
Working on
I'm,
sequel to
I'm,
Don't
I'm,
Let- Don't Let the River Beast Get
right
You.
now I've been watching Alien 3. I'm almost done with that one.
Nice.
Nice.
I just want to finish. I want to see all of the David Fincher movies. That's the last one I
good to
needed
know.
to watch. So
Nice.
one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, David Fincher. I mean, he's one of those directors that, like, when he's bad, but when he's good, holy crap, he's good. And he's got quite a resume. We'll have to do a David Fincher movie on the show one of these days. Actually, in the group chat, send me a message and just list off a few of your favorite David Fincher films, and we'll investigate that.
All right. What are some of his bad movies, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm a little bit biased. I kind of like all of his movies, but that's just me.
So, well, here's the thing. I like all of his movies too. Some of them just don't quite mesh with me. Like, I thought he directed Panic Room.
Oh yeah, he did that one.
Yeah, and that's a movie that I have a lot of mixed feelings about, because I watched it when I was a kid, and as a kid I was like, "Holy crap, this is the best thing ever." But as an adult, I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh, well, that's not quite my cup of tea." But that has less to do with the quality of the movie and more about just how my tastes have changed throughout my life. So
Makes sense.
We can certainly do a David Fincher episode. We'll just have
That
to
could be a topic episode almost.
Yeah. Well, we could have
Like
that be
our
a topic
favorite-
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Seven's really good. Seven's probably
I still
my
need to
favorite.
watch that.
Oh yeah.
But
So is The Social Network.
Wait, so Seven isn't Seven David Lynch?
No, David Fincher. He did Seven.
Bye.
Am I thinking of the wrong person here?
Oh, you know, you-
okay. Yeah, you know what? David Lynch is who I was thinking of when I was saying that when
Panic
he's
Room.
bad, he's bad. I don't know why. These two directors are kind of like interchangeable in my mind. Not that their work is
Cam,
anything
this
alike.
was directed by David Lynch, not David Fisher.
Okay.
It's probably
Fincher.
the David. It's probably
Yeah.
the David part.
I guess it must be, but yes.
Wow,
yeah.
that's namist. Jeez.
My bad.
No, I'm kidding.
But The
Terrible.
Social Network's also another good
Oh,
one
yeah.
of his movies.
That one's great.
I just wish that he actually finished the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. He never really finished that.
Oh yeah, I watched the original Swiss version, and
How does that compare?
it's so I'm kind of biased. When it comes to Americanized adaptations, I will typically prefer the foreign original above all else, because I feel like that's the original vision.
Mhm.
Whereas, when it gets translated over into American cinema, a lot of what made that original film great doesn't quite carry over. Like Old Boy, for example, a South Korean classic. That is a masterful film. But the American version with Josh Brolin, I mean, yeah, you can watch it and say, it's not bad, but the drama, the thrills, the horror of what you're seeing and experiencing, it doesn't carry the same weight as the original Korean. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Korean storytelling and American storytelling are very different mediums. So, yeah, a lot of it just doesn't translate over in ways that feel like it does justice to the original, but that's just me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Mr. Spencer, do you have any shameless plugs for us?
Absolutely. Go check me out over on the Dingus Den right there. where talk about a bunch of comic stuff over there. On Sundays, I do my comic podcast, The Comic Den, where this week we're going to be delving into Thanos Quest, which is the official prequel to Infinity Gauntlet, which is one of my favorite ever stories. Very excited to get into that.
Nice.
From there, of course, we're going to be getting into some Superman stuff and Fantastic Four, as it's a huge, month for comic book movies next month. So very exciting. Also have an episode of Shell Talk coming out, which is my Turtles podcast as well.
Nice.
Also on Dingus Den, where we're going to be talking about Return to New York, which was a huge arc. It was like the last arc that the two creators did together for like 30-ish another 30 issues until they wrapped it up. So it's a big story that we're talking about.
Nice.
Well, there's actually a comic series that I own that I actually wanted to ask your opinion on if you've read it. It's the Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier Man on the Wall story arc.
He's one of those characters I honestly don't read much of.
Yeah,
I feel like, when you delve into the comics, there's two ways you go about it. There's either A, you go through just what's known as the big great stories, or B, you go through and you read somebody that you're a character you're particularly fond of.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I try to do a mix of both. And just for me, Bucky, there's a lot of characters that's like, yeah, I like them, but like don't necessarily dive deep into.
Sure.
And Winter Soldier is on that list of, I like the character, but definitely not high on my list of like, oh, I need to, go read a Winter Soldier thing.
I gotcha.
All right, we got to banish him.
I know, right? Terrible.
Well, I'm definitely the opposite in that regard, just because I love Winter Soldier so much. I got his arm tattooed.
I mean, that is pretty sick.
But
I'll have to check it out though.
But
did y'all hear about the Spider-Man comic announcement today?
That was interesting.
I did not hear about that.
So they're gonna continue the '90s animated series. They're gonna finish it off in a mini comic run.
4 issues, yeah.
Yeah. So, and maybe we'll get a revival like with X-Men.
I was going to say that they kind of went the X-Men route and revamped the original series. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess that about does it for tonight. Thank you, fellas, for joining me, and thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch. Great episode today, and then this coming Sunday, like I said, we're doing the British TV series Dark Knight, which when it came to America, it was called Darkest Night.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I don't know the difference between dark and darkest. I've never heard dark before. Yeah.
Well, I guess one's an absolute and one isn't, but whatever.
I mean, that's equal to Philosopher's Stone and Sorcerer's Stone. Like, what's a philosopher? What's a sorcerer? Yeah, right on. What's dark?
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat.
There you go. Oh, and
I would like if there was some sort of definition that says philosopher, American wizard, or something like that. That would be,
yeah.
It's probably somewhere in like Urban Dictionary or something.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, that about does it. Thanks again, everybody, and tune in on Sunday, and also catch us tomorrow over on Feast of Fandoms for the Cantina Happy Hour. That's tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Standard. Thank you guys for joining. Everybody have a good night.